If you hear some background noise, that's the air conditioner, because it is way too frickety frockin' hot to turn it off completely, even long enough to do this video. Let's deal with it. It's also too hot for football, but let's talk about it anyway. In particular, recruiting, which has been a really hot subject for about the last month. Starting June, there were only 2 commitments. Now, 4th of July, 18 have committed. Okay, more have committed, but we lost one. We'll live with that too. Looks to me like Coach Brown has a plan, just like he always does. He plans. Now, what is the recruiting plan? Well, one, it seemed to be go in, find them early, sell them early, get them committed early. Focus so far has been on defense. Of the 18 that have committed, 11 are on defense. 4 the defensive line, 6 in the defensive backfield. Now that that shows you where the emphasis surely is, and we know the defensive backfield needs it. We'll be losing 3 or 4 guys back there to graduation this year. So I think it'll be a good group this year, but we're going to be thin and inexperienced all over again next year. Well, not so inexperienced. But we need this group. Most of them are actually guys who will be able to play any of the 5 positions, and I'm counting spear. So either safety, either corner, or spear for the ones who put on enough weight. I think there's only 1, maybe 2, who are strictly corners. And at least one of those particularly enjoys man-to-man press coverage. And that is something we need. I think the other guys are going to be good at it, but looks like we are recruiting for it specifically this year. Man coverage is what allows you to blitz. And we need the pressure on the quarterback. 2 of the linemen are edge rushers. Looks like we're emphasizing pressure there as well. I think we're going to see a more active defense this year anyway, but they are definitely building an active defense for the future. So far there's only 1 linebacker in the group. Could leave things thin there in a couple of years, but that's what the portal is for these days. On the offensive side, 2 fast receivers, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 1 quarterback. 2 offensive linemen, 2 very large offensive linemen, which will continue to show that that whole Mac comment was crap, is crap, will be crap. Only 1 running back, only 1 quarterback, only 1 tight end. That's all we need. We are certainly covered at tight end for the immediate future. And the running back room is deep enough that we may very well lose one of them anyway at the end of this year, or at the end of the season, when the window opens again. Well, need to hang on to the young guys. Having, whoever between Anderson and Johnson, whoever doesn't get enough touches, I think will hit the portal. But we'll be covered. Quarterback, there was a lot of talk about Samaj Jones. for a couple of months. And then the coaches got a look at Khalil Wilkins, and they got him into camp. There were a lot of teams who were trying to get an in-person look. Neal Brown did it. They got a good first look, and they liked it. They brought him back, and word is by the time he left that second time, there was a commitment in agreement. Silent commitment made a little bit later. But make no mistake, it wasn't that Jones didn't want West Virginia. It was WVU preferred Wilkins. He became first choice. They got the guy they wanted. And that actually seems to be a theme this year. A lot of these guys are not exceptionally high ranked. They're mostly mid 3 stars, upper 3 stars. A couple of them are rated 4-star in one service, but not nationally, not as a composite. No big star names. That's okay, because they fit the need, they fit the culture. Does no good to bring in a star if you've already got a star at the position, or if that star is going to come in and just tick everybody off and ruin everything, or spend all of their time on the town and never play the town. Let's get the guys who will work, the guys who will play hard for the team. It looks good in that regard. They got the guys they wanted. Not every one of them, but it's looking good in that regard. Now, they are still looking at more players. Already signed 18, and guess what? 18 is more than they probably have room for. If you're just looking at the guys who will graduate and the possibility that Frazier will decide to go pro. I don't think Milam will, but Frazier might. They're currently maybe looking for one more wide receiver. Another linebacker. As I said, we've only got one and we need another. There's an in-state possibility. Hoping to get either Robbie Martin or Ryan Howerton, or both, for the offensive line. Oh man, offensive line is just looking good for as far forward as we can see. Of course, Robbie Martin would mean another in-state player on the line. We seem to have ourselves a tradition. But if there are only 14, maybe 17 people leaving for graduation or the NFL next year, why get 20, 22, 23 guys to commit? Because, well, first of all, come signing day, some of these guys won't be committed. Competition is going to get rough for some of these guys. And I think the way recruiting is being done with NIL is still changing. Coach Brown went with the philosophy of get them quickly. I think some other teams are going to go with the philosophy of snipe bidding. They're going to wait until very close to signing day and then hit some of these players with an extra sweet NIL deal that doesn't leave the other team time to counter, even if they want to. So I think not just WVU, I think you'll maybe see more last minute changes this year than usual. But you're also going to see some guys hit the portal. That's the game. As I mentioned, I think we'll lose a running back. There are some other players on the team who are not going to end up with as much playing time this year as they want. Now, it might be their fault. It might just be that the guy ahead of them is better. And so they're going to go where they can play. Can't blame them. You can't mind that so much as when the guys just want to be treated special, and if they're not treated as special as they like, they take their little temper tantrum to some other team. But Coach Brown's thinking ahead. Over-recruit now, partly because you're going to lose some guys before signing day, but also already figuring there will be losses in the portal. He said before that you have to concentrate on keeping certain players. You can't keep everybody these days because the touches aren't there and the money's not there. And dang it, they deserve to be paid, but it can't be the motivation for the game. And if it is their motivation, let them get paid someplace else. Now I'm starting to get preachy, and I apologize for that mostly. I try not to do it too much. But as I have said in just about every video, I am high on this team for the coming year. I am also high on the team for 2024. This recruiting is smart, planned, precise, and it is built on seeing the bigger picture. The new picture as well as the old picture. Dang, it's getting complicated, and I wouldn't like to be out there on the recruiting trail trying to have to make sense of it all. I'm glad we've got some guys who are good at it. Although I do wonder these days if maybe they should pack a few pepperoni rolls to take out on the trail with them to show the recruits what they could be getting. Who knows? Might help. I'll see you with another West Virginia football video. Going deep. Please click the thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and see you later.